Let me see if I'm understanding this story correctly. You're saying that Orlando, the commissioner, has been accepting some rather small deposits from another league member, Paul. And you're not sure
No.
what those deposits were for.
No.
So you hired a private investigator who is now following Orlando around and reporting back that Orlando is spending the money on Arizona iced teas. That sounds like a pretty elaborate story, and I'm still struggling to believe that this is real.
Okay.
But I'll keep playing along. Are there any other strange things that the private investigator has reported about Orlando?
You've got some of it mixed up. Paul is the detective in our league. He hasn't been making any deposits because Paul hasn't won anything. So I know the deposits aren't coming from him. No. Paul sent me a message and told me that if I win this season, he's going to quote unquote make my life difficult. It was an email, and he CC'd it to Orlando as well. So I'm just assuming that he's just a cog in the whole conspiracy.
Ooh, it's all getting more interesting. So now you're saying that Paul is not the one making deposits to Orlando. He's just participating in some sort of plot to threaten you.
Exactly.
Is it just you that Paul and Orlando are threatening, or is it everyone in the league? And what kind of threats are they making?
I don't know. See, I'm just going public with this right now. I'm going public with it now when I've told you about the Arizona iced tea purchases. He's been making a bunch of other purchases in his local bodega. See, my private investigator doesn't follow him all the way through, but he can just see that he's got like a clutched bag that he covets very, very, very safely. So I don't know who else is being threatened at the moment, but I do know that Andy was the winner from last season. So my assumption is that Andy's the one that's making these deposits.
So, let me see if I have this right. First, Paul sent you a threatening email, which he copied to Orlando.
Yes.
Then you hired a private investigator to follow Orlando around, and the private investigator said that Orlando is buying a lot of Arizona iced tea from his local bodega. It's all very mysterious, but I'm still suspicious that you're making this whole thing up. You're a very creative writer, but I'll play along if you tell me more.
No.
What do you think is the reason behind all this, and what's the real motivation behind these threats?
Money. Just goddamn money. That's all it's about. That's the only thing that I could assume that this is about. So the documentation that I have is, September 18th, Orlando received a deposit of $14.16. September 24th, he received a deposit of $9.84. And on October 20th, he received a deposit of $23.15. I think he can afford a lot of Arizona iced teas with that money. So maybe it's not money. Maybe it's just about Arizona iced teas. I'm not sure. But I think Andy's the one that's making the deposits.
This is a wild ride. I'm having fun with this story. I'm still not completely convinced that it's not just something you made up, but that's fine. You seem to have a good imagination, and you've got a talent for storytelling, that's for sure. But I'm getting curious now. What happens next?
So there's a fourth person here. I don't know if he's connected to the conspiracy, but he sent me a text message. This is another player in our league. His name is Edwin. Now, Edwin, just a second, sent me a text message the other day. He says, "Hey, bro, how are you? By the way, don't even think of selecting Odell Beckham Jr. in the first round. If you do, I'm going to punch you in the face." Verbatim. That's what he said to me. Now, I don't know if he's connected to Paul or Orlando, Andy, but I do know that he threatened me with physical violence if I draft Odell Beckham Jr.
Oh boy, now there's a fourth character and violence is involved. This is starting to get intense. And what a strange condition. Threatening violence if you select a particular player in the draft.
Exactly.
Do you have any suspicions about why Odell Beckham Jr. might be the target of this threat?
I don't know.
Or does it just seem like a totally arbitrary condition to avoid getting punched?
That's very difficult to say. Certain fantasy owners have ties to certain players. I don't understand why he would threaten me with physical wait, just a second. He just sent me another text message. I'm going to break your ribs? I'm gonna smash your head with a baseball bat? I'm a father. He can't talk to me like this. I'm so scared.
Whoa, this is turning into quite the drama. Is this a plot for a movie or a novel that you're creating? I'm having fun playing along, but I'm still a bit skeptical that this is anything more than an entertaining fiction.
You don't believe...
If it's not fiction, it's quite scary, though. Do you feel like you need to take measures to protect yourself from these threats?